in the neighborhood, including the property on St. Hubert Avenue, the Ring Road, and the Athlone Road. Regarding the building height, the variance is mainly related to the integrated garage and the roof design. The proposed ceiling height are standard residential heights, and the additional height helps provide adequate attic space for roof insulation and the proper roof construction. If we look at section joint A401, the ceiling height above the garage is approximately 8 feet on the first floor and 9 feet on the second floor, which are reasonable residential dimensions. As shown on the elevation joint A301, the attic space is already quite limited and is less than 3 feet height in many areas. The proposed house is also set back approximately 0.89 meters farther from the street than required, which helps reduce its visual impact and creates a more open streetscape. I would also like to address the driveway width variance. The requested driveway width is largely due to an existing city-owned tree located directly in front of the property. We are making every effort to preserve this tree. The additional width allows vehicles to safely access the garage while maintaining the required tree protection area. Finally, I would like to address the concern raised by the neighbor at 10 St. Hubert Avenue. There will be no encroachment on the neighboring property. All proposed work will remain entirely within the subject property. In addition, this application does not propose any changes to the existing right-of-way or any existing legal access rights. With respect to sunlight impacts, the subject property is located to the north of 10 St. Hubert Avenue. As a result, we believe the proposal will have a limited impact on the direct sunlight to the neighboring properties. On the behalf of our owner, I would like to sincerely thank the committee for this time and the consideration. The owner has worked hard to address the committee's previous concerns and significantly reduce the scales of the proposal. So we respectfully request the committee's support and approval for this revised application. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. May. Let me just see if any of my colleagues have any questions for you. If not, we'll move on to the folks that are here in person who have some thoughts of their own. Any questions at this point? None? Okay. Thank you, Mr. May. We'll just hold on. We'll just hear from the folks that are in opposition or have concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, who do we have next?
Yeah, we'll move to the in-person speaker. The address at 1863 Davenport Road. You can come up to the podium to speak.
Mr. Kim?
Hi. Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the committee.
Good morning, Mr. Kim. If you could just give us your name and address, please, for the record.
My name is Jane Kim, and I am a resident at 1863 Davenport Road. I am speaking on behalf of my mother, Song-Oh Kim, who is the owner of the 1863 Davenport Road. The property adjacent to subject to property 1859 Davenport Road.
Pardon me, Chair, can I just... You're here to talk about the property on Davenport Road?
Right.
Okay, that's the next file.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
So right now, we're talking about one on St. Hubert. You're
Oh,
not- Yeah, so you'll be back in a couple minutes.
okay, sure.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think for some reason your name is listed twice, for the first one and the second one. Sorry, Mr. Kim. Thank you. Do we have anybody else that's...
Yeah, through your chair, we do have one online speaker, so spare with me 1 second.
Okay. Is that Robert Martin, I take it? Thank you.
Thank all the members of the committee.
Hello,
Hello.
good morning.
I just want to thank all the members of the committee.
Sorry, I want,
And also-
sorry, is that Robert Martin?
Yes, it is, sorry.
Could we
Robert
just
Martin,
get your
10
name and
Street
address,
Avenue.
please, for the record?
Robert Martin, 10 St. Hubert Avenue.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I just want to thank the committee members for their time. And also, I want to thank Michael, the agent for, Michael Maid, the agent for the owners. He's been very helpful with me and working through bringing me to an understanding of what the goals of the project are to the building next door, number 12. And there's the issues concerns that I had. The concerns that I had with regards to height are just pretty much as I stated it. You know, it's going to impact my the light and whatnot coming onto my property. And also what's happening is incrementally I see an increase in height coming into the neighborhood and changing that. But having said all that, it's something that I'm sure I can live with, right? Because I understand the advantages from an engineering point of view of a peaked roof versus a flat roof, and the things that can be gained by that, by some of the detriments of it. So that, and the width of the driveway, my understanding is basically, from my point of view, is not going to be any different from what I have now, if in terms of, because there's no further movement to the south of that driveway. So that's all I want to say about that. And I say, Michael's been very good with me as their agent and with me. There are some things to be straightened out with regards to the right-of-way in the back of the building from the back of my place back and versus the new one. But from all my conversations that I've had with Michael, I'm sure we're going to be able to work that out and work, you know, to basically the standards that are in both deeds with regards to the rights of way. And also down to the front, we have the Toronto property past the sight line and easement property up there. So, those, you know, so, and you know, that's most of my concerns have been addressed, and I believe the good faith between Michael and I and the owners of the property that we can resolve the right-of-way discussions, if you will, at the back of at the back of my property, and so that's that's basically what I wanted to say. If it doesn't make any sense to people, please question me.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Thank you very much. It's always good to hear that there was some good communications between agents and neighbors. It always makes life a lot easier. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we can move back to Mr. May. Mr. May, are you there? Mr. May?
Sanin, you have been unmuted. Hi, Mr. Sanin May. You've become a panelist, so you have full access to the mute and unmute features and functions.
Mr. May, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm no
Okay,
longer talking to
just
myself
You heard Mr. Martin's comments, the neighbor next door. I just want to thank you actually for reaching out to him and helping him understand what your proposal looks like and what it's going to involve. So we don't have anybody in opposition. We actually have a supporter, Mr. Martin next door. Is there anything you'd like to add in addition to what you've already said? If not, we'll take it into committee and render a decision.
No, I just want to sincerely appreciate Bob Martin, that he's a very good neighbor, and that we really work together, and I feel, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we'll take it into committee now. So colleagues, one of the things I noted about this application is that it was deferred previously, but previously there were 10 variances requested, and now it's down to 5. And they all appear to me, at least, relatively minor. I do not see any issues with this particular application. Mr. Lombardi?
I thought the February 2026 Committee of Adjustment application was refused. Am I correct? Or it was refused? Okay.
It was refused,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, sorry.
That's okay. I do have some comments, though, if you're okay with that.
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I would also like to thank the applicant for interacting with the neighbor. As I just indicated, this is, I think, an improved project design and application from the February 2026 application that was before the Committee of Adjustment. It's been revised substantially in terms of the number of variances, as well as a reduction in massing and scale of the project, and it's responded to planning concerns. Building height has been reduced, building length, front yard setback variances and side yard setbacks have been eliminated. There's been a reduction in lot coverage, elimination of the front yard landscaping and soft landscaping variances. So in total, I can support this application, and I understand that there is a concern from number 10 next door in terms of building height and main wall height, but that, I believe, is due to the integral garage that's proposed, so I can understand that. So generally speaking, and I will defer to my colleagues if they have comments, but I'm prepared to move a motion, but I'll...
Thank you.
I would just add, if I
Ms.
may,
Brazier?
I also appreciate the efforts to retain that existing tree, even though it impacts the variance. Thanks, Dino.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah,
Mr. Lombardi?
I'll move a motion to approve the application, grant the 5 variances. I didn't see any conditions of approval that are required. Now, do we want to tie this to the site plan, given the comment about the easement issue?
Not
Yeah.
particularly.
All right, so I will move it without conditions. then.
Thank you, Ms. Lombardi. Ms. Brazier, thank you very much. Seconds? Thank you very much. We have a motion to approve, moved by Mr. Lombardi, seconded by Ms. Brazier. All those in favor? Thank you. Ms. Mai, you have your approval. Thank you. Unanimous. Okay.
Hi, through the chair, the applicant for the deferred item number 4 is online.
Okay.
Yeah, alongside with some speakers too.
All right, we move on to item number 2. Item number 2, oops, I've got my pages mixed up. Oh, my Lord. All right, no electrocution. Sorry about that. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 2. Doesn't seem to have the page for number 2. Oh, here we go. That's the one that got wet. All right, I apologize for that. Item number 2 is 1859 Davenport Road. Purpose of the application to construct a new 3-story mixed-use building with 3 rooftop mezzanines and 3 rooftop terraces. There will be a total of 1 commercial unit located on the first level and 8 residential dwelling units on this lot. 2 units occupying the basement and first levels, 3 units occupying the second level, and 3 units occupying the third level. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plans, floor plans, and elevations, revised draft plan of survey, revised site plan, floor plans, elevations, red line public notice from Mr. Lopez, the agent, revised zoning notice, 6 photographs of the subject property, covering letters from the agent, decision numbers affecting the subject property. We also have staff reports from its transportation review, and a project analyst from Metrolinx and from Urban Forestry. We have correspondence in opposition from 1863 Davenport Road. Okay.
Yeah, through the chair, we have the agent online and 1 speaker in person.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Lopez, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members. My name is Bruno Lopez. I'm Excel Engineering Associates located at 1649 St. Clair Avenue West, representing the owner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lopez. We apologize for the delay. I spilled some water. I wonder if you could please give us a presentation, because we do have somebody in opposition here present with us.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Chair,
sorry for the interruption, Mr. Lopez. I just realized that we do have, this is a red line notice. I wonder if we could just make corrections to the application in terms of the red line notice that we have. What are the changes that are being made, and which variances are impacted?
So, Mr. Chair, what happened here is because, and I'll start my presentation from that angle, which is transportation. So transportation put some requests, and so we did our homework in terms of obeying to their requests and or their conditions for this application approval, and we worked through the process. And so variance number 1, because of these transportation adjustments to the property, we had to work out the numbers to become the real numbers already accounting for these conditions. So for variance number 1, the lot area, instead of being 336.45, is going to be 334.71, as noted.
Sorry, say that again. So if the maximum FSI is 336.45,
it's going to be lowered because the lot is going to become low.
Can you just give us the numbers for number 1? What is it going to be?
Number 1 is going to be 334.71 square meters and 649.14 square meters.
And it's the 2.19 times the area still remains? Or it should be different, surely?
Should be less. This is a little mistake on
so
our end.
if you could give us both the times, the area of the lot, as well as the square meterage, please.
I have to do a quick calculation. Just bear with me for a second. So, so it's going to be 2.89. Instead of 2.91, it's going to be 2.89.
And the square meterage again is 6?
649.14.
649.14.
649.14.
Okay, and the next variance that is being amended?
So the variance number 2, instead of 336.45, we're gonna have now 334.71.
And that's in the maximum allowed, but your
Correct.
new building will have a floor space index on the lot equal to how many times, and what is the square meterage?
I'll do quick math. Bear with me for a second. So the new number will be 2.39 instead of 2.41 as noted.
2.30?
2.39.
9.
2.39.
And
correct.
the square meterage?
It's going to be 537.14.
537.14.
Correct.
Okay, are there any other changes, or is that it?
Correct. So we are changing number 5. We'll have a total of 9 bicycle parking. 7 they will be long term, and 2 will be short term.
So you'll have 9 bicycle spaces.
Correct.
Okay.
This has in response to their notice that we are not having parking on site, so we have to provide bicycle parking, sort of an in lieu. And we're doing 7 long-term and 2 short-term.
Through you, Mr.
Some
Chair,
of
then
the
does that mean
exterior
that you're
of building-
deleting variance number 5? Because you're able to
We
comply
amended-
with that.
We amended.
If you're complying, then you don't need it.
Well, we complying with the request from transportation, but the variance in zoning still remains a variance. We are just adjusting the variance to comply not with the variance itself, but with the requirements from transportation.
Through you, Mr. Chair, that's confusing. The variance reads that therefore a total of 9 bicycle parking spaces, 7 long-term bicycle parking spaces, and 2 short-term bicycle parking spaces are required to be provided on site. Are you providing 9 bicycle parking spaces, of which 7 are long-term and 2 are short-term?
Yes, we are.
Then that variance gets removed.
I'll say so. Correct.
So we'll remove that, Mr. Lopez?
Yes, yes. yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So let me just double check again. So variance number 2 is being altered, sorry, variance number 1 is being altered. And your request is for 2.89 times, equal
Correct.
to 649.14 meters squared.
Correct.
Variance number 2 is being changed from to 2.39 times, equal to 537.14 meters squared, correct?
That's correct.
And variance number 5 is being deleted.
Correct.
Okay, great, thank you. Now that we've got all of that, if you don't mind your presentation, please.
Absolutely. So
Thank you.
this being quite a very lengthy, complicated application. So we inherited MXL Engineering. We inherited this application that has been through the process for the past, I would say, almost 10 years or so. These have had previous committee decisions, which the numbers that we have today and presented to you, they are very similar and look alike to previous decisions. So we did some small alterations. The previous project had about 10 units. We decided to decrease the number and actually just amplify the square footage. We talked to planning, so this was a lengthy conversation with planning. So planning staff actually fully supported this application. We have a few variances again, the ones we already discussed now at the beginning of this hearing. In regards to the FSIs, they are very similar to what was approved previously. In regards to the parking, number 3, 4, and 5, we already discussed it now, so we adjusted with the bicycle parking, so we are compliant. We have variance number 6, which is the height. So the height, it's 12 meters. We are proposed at 1519, and the kicker here is just the small mezzanines that we have on the 4th floor. So the intent of having these mezzanines is to give some private terrace usage to the owners or to the users, let's say the occupants of the 3rd floor. Because this building is so tiny and skinny, we propose, and we cannot, or actually it becomes structurally difficult as well to do balconies. We prefer, and this was in agreement with Toronto Planning, that we would do these terraces on the 4th floor. So the roof is going to be there anyway, so we just give some space, some amenity for the users of the 4th floor to have access, and they have private access. In terms of other variances, I would say number 7 and number 8. This has to do more with the shape of the building, especially number 8. It's talking about the angular plane 45 degrees. On our drawings, I'll try to give the right page to staff if they can pull out our drawings towards the end. Page A0303C clearly shows the angular plane that it's hitting just a tiny portion of the rear side of the building. So this is a very minor to almost no impact. There we go. This is the drawing. So if you see the angular plane, there is a very small angular plane. It's a very tiny little portion of the building. So again, if we want to eliminate this variance, will become very challenging structurally, will become a little bit of an awkward shape for the building. So again, this is a very tiny little variance, I would say.
Is that the conclusion of your presentation, sir?
Yes, for now. If,
Okay, great. Let me just...
will have questions, more than happy to answer.
Perfect, thank you. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you at this point. If not, we'll move on to the person in the audience. Mr. Lombardi has a question for you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. So I just wanted to ask, you had 2 previous Committee of Adjustment decisions that were approved, February 22nd, 2018, and August 26, 2020. They were both very similar to each other and to this application. What happened to those applications?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Lombardi. Yes, these 2 previous decisions were done under a different applicant. So there was other firm doing these applications. We just revamped the project. And again, we did discussions with planning. So the major change that we did is we reduced the number of units. And the problem that previous applicants had is because they were going through site plan approval. So we took a different route, which is keeping the same similar envelope, but we just decreased the number of units, which facilitates, because as everybody knows, under 10 units, we don't need site plan approval. So it's a different route. And, you know, try to maximize it in similar fashion. It's just in terms of timing, it's way easier.
Yeah, thank you. So you're taking advantage of very recent amendments to the Planning Act regarding site plan approval.
Correct, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to the person in the audience, Mr. Kim's here, Mr. Zhang Kim.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Chair and the member of the committee. My name is Zhang Kim, and I'm speaking on behalf of my mother.
Could we get your address as well, please, sir? Thank you.
1863 Davenport Road. I am speaking on behalf of my mother, Sung-ho Kim, who is the owner of the 1863 Davenport Road. The property adjacent to the subject property, 1859. Our concern regarding this project have been already submitted to the committee by email, so I will not repeat those points again. Instead, I want to address the history and the lack of a formal resolution regarding this file. This application was initially launched more than 8 years ago. At that time, we engaged with the applicant in good faith and reached a conceptual agreement on several key terms. The applicant committed to sending us a draft legal agreement for our review to solidify those terms. Regretfully, after the meeting, no such agreement was ever provided. Recently, we were presented with a generic one-page party wall agreement and asked to sign it. This does not address our previous discussions. What we require and what was promised is comprehensive, formally drafted legal agreement that accurately reflects the specific mutual terms and concerns we established years ago. We respectfully request that the committee take this into account and ensure our concerns are properly protected before any approvals move forward. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kim. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you at this point. Oh, don't run away yet. Thank you. Any questions? Any? None? Okay. We'll let the agent.
Can I ask one?
Yes, please. By
Did
haven't used up your time. Please go ahead.
Did you receive the email?
I believe we did. I think it's in our supplementary package, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, it's actually right here. It is part of our package.
So,
Thank
did
you.
read it?
Thank you very much. We'll go to the agent and have him respond to your concerns.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Lopez, are you there?
Yes, absolutely. Mr.
Hi,
Chair.
you've heard Mr. Kim's concerns, and apparently
Yes.
some of these concerns go back a number of years since I suppose the first application went in. I wonder if you might respond.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm quite surprised. I never heard about these agreements. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So I have my actually my right-hand man to talk to the neighbor. So we contacted him. His name is Igor. He contacted him on May the 4th, Mr. Jen Ping. So he explained the design. He obtained the email for Mr. Jang's. We shared the drawings with Mr. Jang, and we actually asked to talk to him. So at the time, he said that he was waiting for his mom to come in from a trip. So later on, around May 11th, we contacted him again, and he said that he didn't want to talk about this, what he just mentioned, the party wall agreement, and he'll talk it just after today's hearing. So anyway, we didn't know about the other part, but we tried to actually talk to him to get an agreement, to get the things done prior. But in a nutshell, this agreement, the party wall agreement, is just for, let's say, the existing area that it's a common wall that would have to do underpinning to actually accommodate the stairs to the basement. If we don't reach an agreement, which is with him, it's within his rights, we'll have to do benching and we have to rework the stairs so we can meet building code, but that's about it. All the rest, pretty much we have accommodate, and we try to speak with the owner. Very unfortunately, we're cut off, and you know, we do what we can do.
Would I be correct in understanding that you will require to come to some agreement with regard to the party wall, which I think is the main concern, prior to getting a building permit?
Yes, absolutely. So the party wall agreement will be in case if we want to do underpinning to the common wall, which is literally advantageous to both parties because everybody, both owners will benefit from the underpinning. If we don't reach a party wall agreement, it's not a permit stopper. We just have to do benching inside, let's say, our property. It will be structurally more challenging, but at the end of the day, both owners will suffer the loss because we're gonna have our area inside reduced, and the next door owner will have soon in the future, if they decide to do some underpinning, if they decide to lower their basement, I would say that my client, the owner, will have some reciprocity and probably will never sign an agreement either. So again, structurally sound, it's a work that it needs to be permitted. It's not a permit stopper, but definitely it's in the benefit of both my client and the next door owner.
Okay. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you at this point, or Mr. Lombardi has something for you.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, thank you. To the applicant, you're aware of the comments from transportation?
Yes, absolutely. We are aware and we are working with that comments. Part of them, we already have them all solved. I believe there is just something that we have to do in the near future, but most of them were incorporated on that revised design that we sent a couple weeks ago.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I believe there's a forestry condition as well as a comment or condition from Metrolinx. And I take it you're aware of those as well.
Yes, absolutely, we are.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. We'll take it into committee now and look for a decision. Thank you. Mr. Lombardi?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I can take this one. I think this is an improvement of what's existing. Keep in mind that this is a corner lot at Davenport Road and Symington Avenue with the front door on Davenport, and both Davenport and Symington are designated major streets on map 3, in policy 3 on the policy area overlay mapping in the official plan. Major streets permit a broad variety of building types along major streets in order to allow density and to enable more flexibility in terms of building form and to create an edge to the interior residential neighborhoods. It allows low-rise residential intensification as well on major streets. So while I'm concerned about the fact that there is a variance for both increased height and angular plane, which I would disagree with the applicant that those are, I think, paraphrasing, I think he said they're minor. I think they add to the issue of massing of this proposal. But nevertheless, I think it's a proposal that is permitted in this area, and I am in support of the application and the 6 variances now that are being requested, and I am prepared to support approval of the application and the variances. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Blissier, Mr. Reid, any thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Chair. I agree with my colleague. And I was surprised that there are, apart from the angular plane, which I think is minor, and the height, there are no other real built form variances being requested, which was surprising to me given the bulk of the building. And I think its situation on the corner is a really good, a good way to help start this kind of transformation of these major streets. And granted, there's a high rise across the street, so I think this fits in well.
Thank you. Ms. Blissier, any thoughts? No?
Thanks, Chair. Nothing to add. I agree with my colleagues.
Thank you. Yeah, for my part, I think it's a reasonable application. I do, however, want to acknowledge the concern that Mr. Kim brought forward, particularly with regard to the shared wall that you have. But I'm also satisfied that one way or the other, this will be resolved before the project moves forward. As the agent mentioned, either underpinning or some structural supports. I can't quite understand that piece. But either way, there will be some safety measures put into place before full construction begins. So it is a supportable application, so I look forward to Mr. Lombardi. Would you like to move a motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you. Yeah, I'm satisfied that the application and the now 6 variances as amended, the application as amended, satisfies or meets the forest statutory tests in the Planning Act. And I would like to move a motion approving the application, granting the 6 variances, subject to the transportation review conditions. I think there's 6 of them, as well as the Metrolinx condition and urban forestry condition number 3.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lombardi. Do we have a second? Mr. Reid, thank you. So we have a motion on the floor to approve the amended application with 3 conditions attached. Moved by Mr. Lombardi, seconded by Mr. Reid. All those in favor? Thank you. Ms. Lopez, you have your approval unanimously. Thank you. Okay, moving on to... And now we move on to item number 3, which is 100 Ilford Road. And the purpose of the application is to construct a new one-story ancillary building, a detached garage with a green roof, rear patio, retaining wall with fencing, and a side south driveway access from Ilford Road, with the rear yard of the existing two-story semi-detached dwelling. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, elevations, 5 photographs of subject property, covering letter from the agent, a decision number affecting the property, an arborist's report, and we also have staff reports from urban forestry.
Through the chair, we have the agent online, and there are no registered speakers for this item.
Oh, thank you very much. Ms. Crombie, are you there?
Hi, good morning. Yes,
Hi,
I'm
good
here.
morning. Name and address, please.
My name is Anna Crombie, and I'm the authorized agent for the owners of 100 Ilford Road.
Thank you. Ms. Ilford, we don't have anybody in opposition or in contention, so we won't need a presentation from that perspective, but let me ask my colleagues if anybody has any, requires a presentation or has questions for you.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I believe the agent wanted to make a revision on variance number 2, so perhaps
Okay.
she can provide that as public record.
Please
Hi,
go ahead,
yes.
Ms. Crombie.
Yes, it states 0% soft landscaping. However, it is actually 3%. This was just an error, and the plans have not been changed.
Okay, so variance number 2 was incorrectly identified as 0% of the rear yard to be maintained as soft landscaping. However, you indicated that it's 3%, not 0.
Correct.
Okay.
Through you, Mr.
And-
Chair, what does that equate to in square meters?
Oh, that's true. We need the square meterage, please.
1.72.
Thank you. Just before we move forward, I take it you are aware, or I hope you're aware, that urban forestry had indicated that the variance number 2, which was identified as 0%, no, variance number 2, it's related to the soft landscaping in the rear, that it be refused.
Sorry, I'm not aware of this. This is not part of the current application.
Bear with me, let me just make sure that I am not mistaken, because I do have,
Through you, Mr. Chair, it's on the screen.
oh, there it is, it's on the screen. So bear with me, I'm just trying to get there. Yeah, urban forestry has indicated, requested that the committee deny variance number 2 because you had a minimum of 50% of the rear yard to be maintained as soft landscaping. In this case, 0% of the yard will be maintained as soft landscaping. So for urban forestry has read 0%, and you're indicating that that 0% is actually 3%.
Correct. I have never seen this document. We have worked extensively with urban forestry in the past months to meet all their requirements. I submitted the email correspondence with their approval of these plans.
Okay. It is dated May the 22nd, 2026. So I'm not sure why you didn't get it, or how it was submitted, but we certainly do have it as part of our package. Now, it does say that if despite urban forestry's recommendation, the Committee of Adjustment panel approves the request variance, urban forestry requests that the variance be subject to the following condition, and that's condition number 1, which means you'll have to submit an application for a permit to injure or remove city-owned trees. But it's not. Mm-hmm.
We already have 2 open permits to injure the city trees, and we have already worked with someone from urban forestry on them, and these plans have already been submitted and approved upon receiving a building permit. When we applied for the building permit, we were then directed to apply for minor variances.
Okay, so just to be sure that you know that before us, we do have a variance, and that's variance number 2, requesting that the rear yard soft landscaping be equal to 0%, which you've amended now to 3%. And that's what will be read as a request before the committee.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lombardi has a question for you. Or
Thank
comment.
you, Mr. Chair. If I can ask staff to pull up the site plan, please. Thank you. The site plan is somewhat confusing to me. You have your property line, and then you have a planting bed, couple of planting beds that are surrounded by a fence, perimeter fencing, which is on the city boulevard. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so your rear yard is completely hard stone patio, and you're replacing that in a sense with a green roof.
Incorrect. So if you're looking at the proposed garage, that is currently an existing garage.
Right.
And the area to the right of that, between the garage and the house, is currently hardscaping. We would like to redo the hardscaping. The remainder of the property, we would like to do in all softscaping,
All right.
excluding the walkway to the front door.
All right, so what you're saying is that you're going to replace the, I'm looking at your site plan, and it says proposed stone patio, right? Is that for the entire rear property within your property line up to the garage?
Correct.
All right, and then it says soft landscaping pointing to the garage.
Pointing to that rectangle.
Oh, that small rectangle.
Correct.
So that's where you get the 3 square meters.
At the 1.72 square
1.72.
meters, yes.
Okay. And the new patio, in essence, eliminates the soft landscaping that's required.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, but somewhere I read that your reduced rear yard soft landscaping is offset by a proposed green roof on the garage. That's incorrect.
I don't know who wrote that. In my cover letter, I wrote that we are doing a green roof. I'm aware that it's not technically considered soft landscaping, but
No.
included it.
No, so am I correct in saying that?
In saying that it offsets the hardscaping?
That you're proposing a green roof on the garage, which, for all intents and purposes, offsets the almost complete reduction in the rear yard soft landscaping. Is that a correct, accurate statement?
It is correct. We are proposing a green roof.
Okay.
I am not sure what you mean by offsets.
Well, in a sense, you're required to have a certain amount of rear yard soft landscaping. You're reducing it to almost zero. And so
in essence, sometimes an applicant, a developer, whomever it is, will try to offset that almost complete reduction by introducing some green feature to the property. That's all I'm trying to allude to.
Okay, yes, I'm in agreement.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lombardi. Anybody else with any questions or thoughts? None? Okay. Since we don't have anybody in opposition, we certainly will take it into committee right now and look for a decision for you. Okay. Just before I do that, it looks like I might be off WebEx. My screen's gone black, but I'm not sure if...
Through you, Mr. Chair, it's okay. We're going to continue only because we have the video of the room.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, we can continue then. So, colleagues, we've got before us an application with, what is it, I think 5 variances. It's an amended one, given that variance number 2 is amended. We also have Urban Forestry requesting that variance number 2 be denied, because the request was for 0% soft landscaping, rear yard soft landscaping, instead of 50. That since has been corrected by the agent, but it's still 3%, which is extremely small, and to the point that you were making, Mr. Lombardi, the rear yard looks like it's completely hardscaped. 3% is very far from 50. So I have difficulty.
Excuse me, may I add a further comment?
I'm sorry, but we're in committee right now, ma'am.
Through you, Mr. Chair, she probably just wants to point out the correction of only 4 variances, not 5.
Sorry, is that what, Ms. Crombie, is that what you were trying to correct?
I just wanted to add a further comment about the tree protection zone and our agreement with urban forestry.
Well, we have before us the 4 variances that, I said 5, so I apologize for that. We have 4 variances, and we do have a report from urban forestry. And the urban forestry one mistakenly, or not mistakenly, but it was reading the variance, requesting 0% of the rear yard soft landscaping. We've just corrected that to 3%. So those are the variances before the committee, and those are the variances that the committee will be looking at. Unless there are any other amendments, these are the variances we will be considering. Okay, so we'll take it back into committee and look at the variances before us. For my part, I find variance number 2, whether it's 0, 3, or 5%, it would be still extremely low and not acceptable. So I would certainly support urban forestry's recommendation that that variance be denied. I'm not sure how everybody else feels.
Gary had
Ms.
his hand
Brazil?
up. Gary had his hand up.
I'm sorry. Oh, I beg your pardon, Mr. McKay.
No problem, Chair. Yes, it's this same issue, and along the lines of what Mr. Lombardi said. If urban forestry was saying deny the variance because there's 0 landscaping, I don't know that they would be appeased with simply 3%. And as Mr. Lombardi was trying to helpfully point out to the agent, since they're suggesting a green roof, that might be able to sort of cause or add to what they're able to put on site. But in essence, I have the same problem then really on condition number 2. I can't support it, so I'd be falling in line with urban forestry.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. And Mr. McKay, if I can just request that you just let me know by voice, because my screen is currently in darkness. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks to Ms. Blazier. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Mr. McKay. Any other thoughts, Ms. Lombardi?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a concern with, obviously, variance number 2 as well. The concern I have is twofold. Number one, the reduction, almost elimination of rear yard soft landscaping, but also the fact that, and this sort of goes to the point I was trying to make with the property line, it appears that the planting or soft landscaping is pretty much evident off-site, not within the site, and that to me is problematic. I think, you know, creating a patio, a stone patio that covers the entire rear area is not a policy item that is encouraged or sought after in the official plan, especially policy 4.3. So I think that this is variance 2 is a key variance, and again, you know, tautology directs us that case law indicates that if it's a key variance and it fails the test, which I believe it does, then the entire application, all the variances must fail as well. So I'm not prepared to support it, and I will abide by the recommendation from Urban Forestry.
Thank you. Ms. Brazier, Mr. Reid, any thoughts?
Thanks, Chair. I'm generally in agreement with colleagues. I do wonder, do we have an option in this case of simply denying that variance, or do we need to deny the application as a whole?
A good question. I'm just wondering, by denying that one, does it impact any of the other items? If it doesn't, my thought would be that denying that one will certainly allow for the construction of the garage to continue and the green roof and whatever else. But they would have to meet the 50% or come back with an altered version of that variance. Yeah. Mr. Reid, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we all have concerns with variance 2. I do appreciate the fact that they tried to make up for that on the garage roof. That makes sense. And with the gravel driveway. But I think that doesn't get to the core issue, that they've really made almost no attempt to meet that variance. And it is a relatively sizable rear yard, I find. Like there's space to still have a paved area with planting. So I can't support variance 2. But I take Katie's point. I think I'd be willing to refuse variance 2 and approve the other 3, because the other 3 variances I don't necessarily have an issue with.
Thank you. Would somebody like to pick this one up? Ms. Brazier, any thoughts?
Sure, I'll try a motion to that effect and see where it goes. I would propose, oh, and my tech is collapsing all around me. I would propose that we approve the application except for variance number 2, which I think would eliminate the need for the urban forestry condition. Is that correct?
I think so.
So that's, yeah, I'll put that on the table.
I would second that, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor, moved by Ms. Brazier, to approve the application for the acceptance of variance number 2 as requested by Urban Forestry. This has been seconded by Mr. Reid. All those in favor? Thank you. Mr. McKay?
Yes, I'm in favor of that.
Thank
yes.
you, sir. Thank you. All right, we can move on with item number 4, but before we do that, I'm having some technical issues. My screen is completely...
Yeah, my WebEx is off too.
Mine too.
Okay, so it's not
Through
just
you,
me.
Mr. Chair, let's take a 5-minute break just to get reorganized. Thank
So
you.
just restart.
Thank you.
Thank you. Helpful, thank you.
Except Gary, we should all do this from home next time.
microphone, please. Mr. McKay, we're going to get started again.
Thanks, Chair and Deputy Secretary Treasurer. I'm back on with you. Yes, thank you.
And we're back again, thanks to technical issues. We're now moving on to item number 4, which is 417 Craven Road. And the purpose of the application is to construct a new 3-story detached dwelling, a houseplex, with front and rear balconies located on the 2nd and 3rd levels. Front and rear basement walkouts, a front covered porch with stairs, and a rear covered ground floor deck with stairs. There will be a total of 6 residential dwelling units on this lot. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, elevations, 6 photographs of trees on the subject property, a deferral request from the agent, and we also have correspondence in opposition from 457, 407, 427 Craven Road and 248 Roads, 252 Roads, and I think, 241 Craven. We also have commenting agency reports from Urban Forestry. Okay.
Through the chair, we have the agent here in person, and there are online opposition speakers as well.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Dominguez, I take it, or not?
I am actually Mr. Race. I was
Mr.
logged in
Race.
earlier. Apologies for the confusion with the registration, Mr.
No
Chair.
problem. Thank you, Mr. Race. Is that RACE?
Yes,
Thank
Craig
you.
Race, 100 Lombard Street.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much for being here. Is this a request for
Deferral request.
That's right. You weren't here early on. That's the issue. Thank you
I was
very
logged
much.
in. Fortunately, my office is closed.
No problem. You're still here. That's good news. Well, welcome. You wanted a deferral. I wonder if you could provide a reason for your request.
Address comments from neighbors specifically related to parking on the site.
Thank you very much. We'll go to all the folks in opposition and just give them the information about the request and take it from there. Thank you. I think everybody's online, so you can stay where you are. Okay.
So we're going to go to the online speaker. The
Thank
speaker
you.
at 401 Craven Road. You have been unmuted.
Yep. Good morning. My name is David Smith. I'm totally in support of the deferral request. My address is 401 Craven Road.
Thank you very much. That would have been just the question, whether you're in favor or not, and you are, so that's great. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move on to the next person.
The next speaker at address 427 Craven Avenue. Sorry, Craven Road, my apologies. You have been unmuted.
Hello, Mr. Monroe. Mr. Monroe, are you there?
Hi, Mr. Alan Monroe. I see that you have 2 devices, so both devices are unmuted, and you have also become a panelist, so you do have the full access features for the audio.
Mr. Monroe? Hi, good morning. Is that Mr. Monroe?
Yes, this is me.
Hi, good
Can you hear me
morning. I wonder if we could just get your name and address first, and then the...
Sure, it's
Sorry, and then we just
Alan
need a
Monroe,
yes or
number-
no to the request for a deferral.
Sure. It's Alan Monroe, and I'm at 427 Craven.
I'm fine with the deferral, but I'd request a shadow study being done.
So we only need a yes or no to the deferral.
Okay, then yes on the deferral. That's
Thank
fine.
you so very much. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
And
When you
moving-
have finished recording, you may hang up.
Through the chair, we also have one last speaker who's in opposition at address 441 Craven Road. I will attempt to make another call to reach out to this individual.
Thank you.
Please be on standby. Thank you. Through the chair, multiple attempts have been made to reach the speaker at 441 Craven Road by phone and by email, but we could not connect.
Thank you very much. We've made our attempt, so we'll move on. Mr. Race, you've heard the two of the three folks that were listed in opposition, and they both agreed to a deferral. We'll take it into committee and look for a motion to that effect. Thank you. Mr. Reid?
Thanks, Chair. I think this is a reasonable request, and there's obviously some neighborhood concerns about this project. So I think by allowing a deferral, it will allow the applicant to modify the design and reconsider some of those. So for that reason, I'll move that we defer the project, defer the application.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reid. Mr. McKay, would you like to second?
Yes, I will.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. We have a motion on the floor to defer, seconded as well. All those in favor of deferral, thank you. Mr. Rees, you have your deferral.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to item number 5. Item number 5 is 84 Glenmore Road. 84 Glenmore Road, purpose of the application to alter the existing two-story detached dwelling by reconstructing the front enclosed porch, including the stairs. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans and elevations, 5 photographs of the subject property, tree protection plan provided by the agent, and we also have support form, 27 form letters in support, signed by owners and occupants of 60, 66, 68, 71, 73, 74, 76, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 85, 86, 88, 90, 91, 92, 93, 95, 96, 98, 100, 102, 104, and 106 Glenmore Road. Now I know my numbers. And I think that's the lot.
Yeah. Through the chair, we have the agent online, and we do not have any speakers for this item.
Thank you. Mr. Dome, are you here? Are you there, sorry?
Yes, Joe Dome, 133 Torresdale Avenue, agent for the owners.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Dome. Thank you for that. We don't have anybody in contention, and your application actually is a very straightforward one. It has 2 variances, which in my opinion at least are both minor. So we'll take it into committee, and I'll see if my colleagues have perhaps any questions for you. If not, we'll look for a motion to move regarding your application. Thank you. Any thoughts, Mr.
Chair, I'm willing to make a motion.
Oh, thank you, Mr. McKay.
Yes, this is just two variances. The enlargement is not much in variation. So I would move approval of this application, and there are no conditions.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Seconder, Mr. Reid, thank you very much. We have a motion on the floor to approve without any conditions. Moved by Mr. McKay, seconded by Mr. Reid. All those in favor? Thank you
I
very
agree.
much. You have your approval, Mr. Dome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 5. Sorry, Ms. Blazier, I'd forgotten that you had indicated an issue with this particular one. Thank you. Okay, item number 6. Item number 6 is 71 LaSalle Boulevard, and purpose of the application is to construct a new 3-story detached dwelling with a rear 3rd-story balcony. Also to construct a front widened driveway and a new 1-story ancillary building, a cabana, in the rear yard. The committee had before the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, a red line public notice from the agent, 9 photographs of the subject property, received April 28th, covering letter from the agent, an arborist report, presentation materials from the agent, correspondence from an agent. We also have staff report from Urban Forestry, and we have correspondence in opposition from 75 LaSalle Boulevard.
Through the chair, we have the agent here in person, and we also have one registered speaker that's online.
Good morning, Mr. Hoffman. Hi, good morning. Name and address, please.
Joe Hoffman, 333 Bay Street, Suite 3400, Toronto, Ontario, M5H2S7. I'm a solicitor for the applicant.
Thank you very much. We'll require a up to 5-minute presentation because we do have somebody in opposition.
Sir, just before I start my presentation, there's just one administrative
Red
matter.
line.
Yes.
Thank you. I've forgotten that, but thank you for reminding me. Okay, what are the items that require changing?
So there's just one. We've been speaking with planning staff leading up to the application. They've asked us to remove variance number 7. That's the variance to increase the width of the driveway.
Perfect.
And we're fine with removing that variance. And so instead of seeking 7 variances, we're only seeking 6. And as a result, planning staff have no objection to the proposal.
Great.
Perfect, thank you very much. So variance number 7 is being deleted, and we have before us 6 variances to consider. Okay, floor's yours, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've prepared a presentation, and so I think it's going to be shared on the screen. What I'm going to do as part of this presentation is just quickly walk through the 6 variances, and I'm going to start with the front yard setback. So 7.66 meters is required as a front yard setback. We're proposing 6.82. I think it's really important to note, and if we could just turn to page 3 of the presentation. First, this is an improvement from the existing condition. You'll see that the hatched green line shows the existing house, and so we're actually pushing the house back. And in addition, what you'll see is the only portion that encroaches into the front yard setback is only a 1-story portion of the building. It's not all 3, so it's been very thoughtfully designed with respect to what the front yard setback should be. And you'll see, if we can put up page 3, and if not, it's in the record, so I'd ask you to look at it. You'll see how well the house actually lines up with the neighbors to the north and the south. With respect to density, 60% is permitted. We're proposing 88. Just 2 things in regard to density. First, on page 5 of the presentation, you'll see there's a lot of redevelopment in the area, and there's a lot of redevelopment with 88% near or even greater than. In fact, immediately to the rear of the site on Collin Avenue, it was recently approved at 88%. But this isn't just a quantitative exercise, it's also a qualitative exercise. So when you look at the presentation material, just the version on the screen, you'll see what's shown in purple. That's the 3rd story. And so the 3rd story is a reason why we're getting to 88%, and you'll see it's not the whole of the building. It's centralized, it's pushed to the middle, both east, south, northwest, And so it mitigates impacts both on both neighbors to the north and south, and also it improves the visual aspect from the street. Again, this is a Richard Wengel project, and as I continue to work with Richard, I continue to see the thoughtfulness in design. With respect to building wall and height, wall height 7.5 is permitted. We're seeking 7.57. That's only 7 centimeters. And essentially it's to hide the gutter. So part of the wall height is a parapet that hides the gutter to the back. And then with respect to height, 10.6 is being sought, 10 meters is being proposed. And if you go to page 7 of the presentation, you'll see examples of that type of height and that type of relief in the neighborhood. You'll also see on page 8, again, the thoughtful design. So this is not a case where we're seeking height wall to wall all the way up. We've pushed the third floor massing to the middle of the site. So really, when you look at what's permitted and then what we're seeking, it's really only a small portion of the building at the third story, again, centralized to the middle of the property, mitigating impacts. Building length and depth, this is the last variance, and I'll speak to them together. I think what's really important here is if we could go to page 4 of the presentation materials, we prepared an overlay. And so what you'll see in this overlay, the proposal is shown in red, and you'll see how well and how appropriately it lines up with both the neighbors to the south and the north. This is very intentional. We wanted to keep within the character of the neighborhood and, in fact, the most immediate neighbors. And so, in addition to it being this, I think, what is a qualitative exercise showing the appropriateness of the length and depth permissions, we've also done our research, and you'll see on page 6 of the presentation materials approval of length permissions in the area, again, very much consistent with what we're proposing. Just a few other comments, no landscaping variances. I think it speaks to the appropriateness of the setbacks of the property. Planning staff, no objection to the proposal now that we've removed variance number 7. Forestry staff have written a report indicating no objections to the proposal. There is one objection letter, as you noted, Mr. Chair, on the record. I'd like to say just 2 quick things about that. First, it's by 75 LaSalle, not 73, but it's written on behalf or for 73 LaSalle. We've had communications with 73 LaSalle directly. So it's a bit odd that 75 is writing about 73, even though they don't own or live in the property, but nevertheless, they're taking issue with the side yard setback. There's no variance being sought for a side yard setback. We're actually greater than the as of right permission, just slightly. We've also, Mr. Wengel's office has also spoke with the owner of 69 LaSalle. I understand he may be the next speaker. I want to thank him for his time. Through those discussions, we've agreed to a few mitigation measures, including, for example, privacy screens at the 3rd floor, rear balcony, which is only being proposed there because of OBC requirements, and so we will, of course, we've agreed to that. We'll implement that as part of any approval, and so we have engaged the neighbors both to the north and south, and we thank them for their time. So subject to any questions, those are my submissions. I thank the committee for considering this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions at this point. If not, we'll move on to the person in opposition. Any question? Mr. Lombardi?
Yeah, thank you through you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Hoffman, you're aware of the condition of approval in Urban Forestry's comments, but also the advisory comments?
Yes, we've read that and we'll
Okay,
comply.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McKay, any questions for Mr. Hoffman?
No, I don't, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Okay, we can move on to person in opposition.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Could we get your name and address, please?
Yeah, my name is Richard Herskovich, and I live at 69 LaSalle's Boulevard.
Thank you, Mr. Herskovich. I wonder if you could give us your presentation, 5 minutes, and we'll get the agent then can respond to your concerns.
Sure. My comments really are not so much objection, but just point of fact. Number one, I'm glad the previous speaker highlighted the privacy screens to be implemented in the 3rd floor balcony. Another issue has to do with the actual property line. If you look at the first drawing, actually the many drawings show this, but obviously over the years it looks like the property line has, not the correct property line, but the existing property line has drifted. So both you know, 69 LaScelles and 73 LaScelles are on board, obviously, with ensuring that the property line is brought to bear where it should be, obviously follow the survey lines. This would be to the detriment of 73 and to the slight benefit of 69. So we just want to point that out. Obviously, we want to make sure all these property lines are correct and adjusted accordingly before, you know, shovels go into ground.
Okay. Any other comments at this point, or would that be it?
Just a couple of things. Trees were mentioned before. We have been in discussions with the architect about trees that were sort of on our property line, mid-property. We've agreed to let them take that down. In good faith, they've agreed to put up a bank of cedar hedges a little further east along the property line. We'd be open to, you know, contributing to more trees if that helps our privacy as well. So we're more than happy to work with our new neighbors and deal with any fencing issues that come out of these property line changes as well.
Thank you so very much. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you. None? Mr. McKay, any thoughts? None?
None, thanks, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Hoskovich, it's good to hear that you have a good rapport with the agent and the architects, and that you're willing to work together. It makes a big difference. Thank you so very much. We'll move back to the agent and see if there's any comments he'd like to add to your comments.
I'll be very quick, Mr. Chair. I know you guys have a long day ahead of you. Everything he said is accurate. We've engaged in those discussions. We're committed to following through with what we promised, and we thank the neighbor for the conversations that we've had today.
Thank you very kindly. Any questions for the agent at this point? If not, we'll take it into committee and move towards discussion and decision. Mr. Lombardi?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. I think this is a well-designed project. I will acknowledge two things with the applicant. Number one, as you indicated, the applicant and the owner have engaged with the neighbors, and we certainly appreciate that. And second, I will acknowledge that the applicant has provided in their filings a neighborhood assessment analysis as required or directed by the official plan through a study area, neighborhood study area. And what that has shown is that there are similar approvals in terms of the variances that are being requested in the immediate neighborhood. And what that goes to is this is, I believe, a balanced approach in terms of a project that represents respecting neighborhood character. I am prepared to support this application. Again, I'll defer to my colleagues for any additional comments, but I'm certainly prepared to move a motion. But again, I'll defer to my colleagues for comments.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Reid?
Thanks, Chair. Yeah, I agree. I think this is supportable and really kind of does reflect the pattern of redevelopment that's happening in the area, and it is sensitive to its immediate neighbors, particularly with that massing of the third floor. And the inset third floor balcony, I think, is a smart design move as well. I would note that the length it's a big number, but it's limited to that one-story portion. So I agree. I think this is supportable, but I would like it tied to site plan and to the side elevations, just to capture that massing, which makes it supportable.
Thank you. Ms. Blazier, any thoughts? Mr. McKay, some thoughts? None?
Well, it'll be a revised application, yes, as variance 7 is going out of.
That's
going out
right.
of the, yeah.
Yeah, to Mr. Reid's point and comments, I think I'm in agreement that it's a reasonable application. It's 6 variances, but none of them are excessive. And with regard to the building length, it is limited. So yeah, this is a supportable application. Okay, would like to move with this amended application. Ms. Blazier, would you like to run with this one? Mr. Lombardi, please go ahead.
I'll put a motion forward.
Sure, Mr.
Thank
Lombardi.
you, Mr. Chair. I'll move approval of the application as amended.
and granting the 6 variances being requested. I believe the variances satisfy the 4 statutory tests in the Planning Act, subject to condition number 1 put forward by Urban Forestry, also noting that there are advisory comments from Urban Forestry as well. Also tying it to site plan and elevation drawings. Now, I don't know if we tie it to elevation and site plan, do we also need a condition of a privacy screening on the 3rd floor balcony? I think that's shown in the elevations. Yeah. So just two conditions, those 2 conditions.
I think the forestry one, if I'm not mistaken, is 1 and 3.
I just saw it as a 1. I could be wrong.
Yeah, 1 and 3.
3? Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the amended. Thank you, Mr. Reid. Mr. Reid seconds. All those in favor of the amended
Sorry, through you,
application?
Mr. Chair, before
Sorry?
the motion is put through, the site plan, has it been amended to reflect the driveway width? And if it hasn't, then in our terminology, we may want to say, it's tied to site plan, but not the widened driveway, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're correct. We don't have a revised plan to show that. It's still showing 3.37 meters. Okay. All that has been captured, I take it? Okay, wonderful. Did we already have a vote on that? Not yet. Okay, so we have a motion to approve with a seconder as well. Mr. Reid, the amended application tied to site plan with the exception of the width of the driveway, which should read 3.2 meters, not 3.37 meters. Would that work?
So through you, Mr. Chair, conditions, urban forestry number 1, tied to the site plan, but not
1 and
including.
3.
Sorry, 1 and 3, tied to site plan, not widening the driveway, and elevations, side
And
elevations,
elevation.
right?
As amended. Yep, okay, good. All those in favor? Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Stop when you have a unanimous approval.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, let's move on to item number 7. Item number 7 is 24 Brookfield Street. Purpose of the application, construct a new 3-story detached dwelling, pardon me, a houseplex, with the 2nd and 3rd stories cantilevered at the north side of the building, and front and rear rooftop decks above the 3rd floor, with a rooftop staircase access enclosure. Also to construct a new detached ancillary structure, carport containing 1 undersized vehicular parking space and garbage storage abutting the laneway. There will be a total of 4 residential dwelling units on this lot. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, revised site plan, floor plans, and elevations, a red line public notice from the agent, 2 photographs of the subject property, covering letter from the agent, presentation materials from the agent. We also have email correspondence from transportation engineering. We also have staff reports from community planning and urban forestry. We have correspondence in concern from 22 Brookfield Street. We have opposition correspondence from 26 Brookfield Street. And that's it.
Yeah, through the chair, we have the agent here in person.
Thank
And
you.
also, we do have opposition speakers in person as well.
Terrific, thank you. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Name and address for the record, please.
Andrew Hill, 67 Moet Avenue.
Thank you. We will need a presentation since we have folks in opposition.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, before I forget.
Red line.
The red line. Thank you. I believe you have one item that needs correcting.
Yes, item number 3 as it pertains to height, we've reduced the sort of quantity of the variance request there.
Thank you, and that's the only change being made.
There's another change I'll speak to, but it's not sort of variance related.
Is it one of the variances that are being changed?
No.
No, okay, great. But so we'll
through
just
you,
make
Mr.
that
Chair,
one
for
change.
public record, then the height is 12.29 meters instead of 12.65 meters, correct?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so looking at the amended application, please go ahead.
Thank you. So we're here to speak about 24 Brookfield, which is a multiplex proposition with 4 units, 2 two-bedroom units and 2 one-bedroom units. And while we are here, obviously asking for some minor variances, many are due to a unique site condition paired with our desire to achieve some family-oriented units within the project. I'm going to just go through by variance. Variance 1, which relates to front yard setback, we're sort of leaning into the sort of bay window kind of vestibule architecture of the context and sort of grabbing that element from the front and maintaining its footprint at the front. The next page sort of visually documents that a bit more clearly. So in the new building, we're sort of maintaining the sort of vestige of that piece. Variance 2, which is soft yard landscaping. We liaised with city planning on this, and they asked us if we could, push it a bit more to kind of get closer. We were happy to do so, but we pointed out to them that, to do that, we would essentially be moving the garbage enclosure to the front yard, which wouldn't produce a variance there. We spoke with them about that, and they thought maintaining it in the rear yard was a sort of better end condition in the real world. So that variance sort of stayed as is via that collaboration with them. Variance number 3. So this is the height variance. So we've looked at the floor to ceiling heights in the building. We're able to grab a bit of the height away, reduce the overall ask of the height variance. This is just highlighting the extent of the massing that relates to that variance and its sort of setback nature in terms of its perception from the street. And if you go to the next page, via that same exercise, we were able to, at the parapets, maintain the required height of the building, but get the parapet to be 1.5 meters high to sort of engage with the sort of acknowledged privacy screen height of things. This again is just illustrating the extent of the height variance. We can go to variance 4, which is the side yard setback. So on the side yard setback on the south, we are aligning with the existing house's footprint there. We're sort of passionate about that because it was the sort of device that's allowing us to achieve at least half of these units having 2 bedrooms. It is a tight site. It turning into all 1 bedrooms is not, our client would probably be okay if that happened. It's not necessarily what we want to be doing. We're quite passionate about these multiplexes and what they kind of provide to these neighborhoods in terms of housing stock. And, this is a tight site and kind of peculiar, but via that, I actually think it's keeping the square footages down on the units and getting 2 bedrooms within that, I think leans towards an affordability actually for this typology that we're interested in. And 5, again, via the kind of peculiar nature of this site, the rear yard that faces the laneway is what it is in terms of dimension. So a less than adequate sort of, hopefully they get a Mini Cooper, I guess. But transportation responded back and saying there was no issue there. This is not variance related, but via some of the comments in the letters, we have spoke with the client, and we are proposing an overhead garage door here that will be on a carport still. We're not certain that building an actual garage with walls dimensionally it's not going to help the situation. So we're still trying to keep it as a sort of carport of sorts, but we are looking at doing a proper sort of security there at the end. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly. And we'll move on to, let me just see if my colleagues have any questions at this point. None. Thank you, Ms. McKay. None. Okay. We'll move on to the person in opposition, and you'll have an opportunity to respond to that person's concerns. Thank you.
Yes, the speaker in person at the address 22 Brookfield Street. Please, you can come up.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning.
members of the board.
Name and address, please, sir.
My name is Ben Correa, 22 Brookfield Street.
Thank you, sir. You've got 5 minutes to make your case.
Before we start, quick question. I mean, I submitted a letter. I don't know what the process is, if you guys review the letter and read it over with my concerns? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to summarize basically what was said and maybe add a few things.
Mhm.
First of all, the applicant had many opportunities to reach out to me with what they're building, and so I can work with them, give my opinions and what have you. They did not. Instead, they actually went on my property when my sons were working, just to snoop what I was doing. I'm in the process of renovating and restoring a 115-year-old double brick house, so I'm in favor of keeping history going. Now, as much as 24 Brookfield needs to be torn down, if you look at the photos, the house is leaning forward and to the right. The footing is not substantial for what they want to build. You cannot underpin that house. They want to dig down 5 feet below my house. They'll be exposing my footing, 52 feet in length, with 5 feet underneath. So what happens when all that soil runs off? When they're excavating. That's my major concern. Being on the property line, those 12 inches are all my space. In the past, the previous owner would maintain that space because of the overhang of sorry, what do you call it? The parapet. They would maintain that. Obviously, it's not easy, only 12 inches. Those 12 inches are on my property. Now, with what they're building, all the snow, rain will end up on my property that I have to deal with afterwards. And with this construction, everything will settle over time. Any excavation, any backfill will settle. Who's going to repair those 12 inches of my property in the future? And there's no access for that. So I'm asking if they move over at least 12 inches so we have equal space. We can both work on the house. The north side of my house needs to be restored. I've restored the other 3 sides of the house. As you can see, I'm still in construction. So I'm asking them to move over a foot. We both have space. We can both maintain our properties. That's the major one. As far as the parking, I don't know how 1 parking spot is sufficient for 4 units. That's one issue. The security, they made changes. They put a garage door and a carport, but that's not enough security. I'm just relying on tenants keeping that door closed. I do have an option for them to add security along the property line between my backyard and their backyard. What else do I have? The parking, the setback, the height. The height, they also made changes to the rooftop patio to 4 feet 11 inches, and that's in regards to the comments I made. That is not sufficient because they'll be too close to my property. I'm asking them to do at least 5 to 6 feet, because at 411, anybody can still peek over the guardrail onto my property. I think that's it. Well, with the height, I don't know why they need 9-foot ceilings in a basement. So if they were to lower the ceiling height on all the floors, their maximum height would be lowered. So that would get rid of one of their variances. Another thing, what happens when my house settles 10 years from now from their excavation? Who's liable for that? Who's going to pay for that? I've put a lot of money into restoring this house. I don't need it to be falling. What else? I also have issue with the venting. It's unclear where the venting for the bathroom and kitchen will be. Is the venting on my side of the property? Is it on the north side? It's not, doesn't stipulate that. Ceiling, that. I guess that's it. I'm not one for presentations or public speaking. I'm a little nervous, but I believe that's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Correa. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you at this point.
I do, Chair,
Mr.
thanks.
Reed?
Just checking, do you have windows on the north side of your?
I do not.
No? Okay,
I have
it's a
no
blank
windows.
wall. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Any other questions, Mr. Lombardi?
Thank you. So your property is the one to the south, right?
Yes.
So you talked about a setback that you would like to see. And variance number 4 that is being requested, actually, the required, minimum required says 0.45 meters. Now, recently, the provincial government has reduced that by 10%. So in fact, what is required is 1 and a bit foot. They're asking, the request is for 0 meters.
Right.
You're talking about 5 to 6 feet.
No, that's the railing, sorry.
Oh, sorry, so.
That's the 5'6", so they proposed 4'11", because that's what I have. That's what I suggest, that's what I said I had with my railing.
You're talking about privacy screening.
Privacy screening
Yeah,
on
yeah.
their rooftop.
But I thought I heard something about.
No, so the
setback.
offset of the south line, they have 0 meters.
Yeah.
If they move over at least 12 inches, 1 foot, just like I have 12 inches, it'd be common space that we can both access both our properties. That's all I'm asking in that sense.
Okay.
Because
Just
they're
wanted
also
to
using, like they said, they're using the same footprint.
Yeah.
That's a loophole.
Okay.
May be facetious or anything, but using a loophole of using the same footprint, there is no footprint. There's no basement, there's just a small crawl space, and it's probably wood timber footing. This is not existing footing that can be saved or underpinned or altered.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Lombardi. Thank you, Mr. Correa. Any other questions? Mr. McKay, any questions?
No, I don't, Chair, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Correa. We'll get the agent to provide some feedback. Thank you.
Yes. Through the chair, we also have one more opposition speaker.
Oh, sorry,
that's
I
in
beg your
person.
pardon, sir. Thank you. We have one more person? Thank you.
Correct, yeah. So the in-person speaker at the address 26B, Brookfield Street. You can come up, please.
26.
Excuse me. Good morning,
Thank you.
Mr.
Hi,
Chair,
good
and
Oh, sorry, I didn't see your name on this list, that's
it's
why.
quite all right. I was away traveling when all these requests came out, and I'm happy I was able to make it here to the public meeting
No
at least.
problem. Welcome anyway. Your name and address, please.
Sure. My name is Ramon Perez. I reside at 26B Brookfield. I also own 26A Brookfield, and I'm in the process of purchasing 26C Brookfield. This was one property that was separated back in 2002, and I've slowly kind of been reconstituting it over the years to better maintain it, basically.
Excellent.
So I moved in there 16 years ago, and 130 years ago, this place was a farm, a milk farm. I love urban history, and there's so much character to this building. And like my neighbor Ben, I'm in the process now that I've acquired all 3 lots to bring it back to its former glory and add to the vibrancy of the neighborhood, basically. But, you know, being around for 130 years, I know things are going to change, they're going to evolve. 24 Brookfield was at one point actually part of 26 Brookfield. It was one large lot. I actually have an existing door that goes to their backyard. It was where the farmhands lived back in the day. And yeah, so I live in the stable, the farmhands were next door, and the farmer was out front. So I'm open to change, I'm open to evolving things, but I think this building is a bit of a monstrosity that does not take into account the neighborhood. It doesn't respect its neighbors. There are other 3-floor buildings in the neighborhood, but they are not so gaudy and impactful on the neighborhood. They work with the neighborhood and its neighbors. I tried to meet with Mr. John Paul a few times. I got ghosted on our meetings, so I just told him I would see him here, but I guess he sent somebody else instead. But one of my bigger concerns is the pushing of the back to enclose almost like a column-like area. So if I can add some visuals here.
Unfortunately, we may not be able to accept these
Oh.
if they weren't handed in, if they weren't submitted.
Oh,
in
sorry, I was
time.
away, I was traveling, like I
Yeah,
said.
I apologize for
I
that.
did not know
but-
that. I just wanted to add context because basically I have 3 windows. The 26B unit is below ground level. It used to be the old stable. So all the windows are at person height. A person walking by the window can look directly in. One of the windows could easily be kicked in. And the proposed design of the house, there's a very thin alleyway between the 2 homes, which I have an easement on due to my door on the south side. And they're proposing 2 doors in the middle, 1 in the back, and obviously the one in the front. I think this is a very skinny, will become a dangerous high-traffic area if these people have guests, parties, whatever, people walking by my windows, potential security risks for theft, break and enter. So these are raising big concerns. The 2 windows on my east side are my kitchen, and the window on my south side is to my mother's bedroom. She's 85 years old, and the last thing she needs is vagrants running by her window causing a ruckus. So if the home, I'm okay with a rebuild, obviously, if it maintained the original footprint of the house, which is much shorter in the back, allowing for a plot of a backyard area, and maybe moving all existing entrances to directly in the back or directly in the front, I would be open to that. I also echo the concerns of Ben, my neighbor, with the foundation, because knowing Marie, the previous owner of the home, she told me how the foundations were, not foundation, the concrete pours were directly integrated. So while there's no foundation in the front house, there's a tunnel going from the front house to the extension, the wooden extension in the back, where the furnace and a bathtub is, where Marie would go through a trap door to take her bath. So there is no foundation. It's a stilt house on wood framing, but there is heavy concrete pour in the alley between the 2 buildings, which would definitely affect, because I have a stone foundation on that side from the original building, and it could seriously damage anything that they start to break apart and develop there. So my concerns are the build and security and privacy, not only to the alleyway, but also the rooftop, people looking down into my backyard where my mother spends her time, and friends and people gather. So those are my concerns overall. And I hope, I would love to work with the new owner to create something that reflects the neighborhood and also respects the neighbors as well.
Okay. Thank you very kindly. Perfect timing. Let me just see if any of my colleagues have any. Mr. Lombardi's got a question for you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Thank you for that deputation. 2 things. The first question is, you used the phrase, "I don't want vagrants running around."
Well,
why do you suspect
there are lots of homeless people in our alleyways. They camp there, they spend time there, they sleep there. So a lot of people obviously have enclosed garages and fences in the back. People could easily go in through the front alley if they keep seeing people going in to the side access constantly.
But are you suggesting that this project could?
No, not the tenants themselves, but you're going to have a very thin alleyway, which is the doors where people are going to be going in and out constantly, either shuffling through the front or the back. And this creates curiosity with people surrounding the area. I've had like theft attempts at my home through the backyard. So, because people do spend time in the back alley, we've had people sleep there and have like small little encampments. So that would be my concern. Like I'm open to working with regarding access points, but the high traffic, which would go from 0 traffic at this point to, or one-person traffic or a couple, to 4 people, potentially up to 8 people if there's multiple people living in each unit. That's 8 people constantly going through my windows, can look inside.
So I apologize.
Yeah.
I get it. So the statement I made initially, that's suggesting, because, let me rephrase this. Would you have the same concern if this was a single detached dwelling? And I think you've answered.
No, if it was a single home dwelling, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it was a two unit dwelling, because my front property itself is a 2-unit dwelling, but everybody accesses through the front door, right? So there's no.
So your concern primarily,
yeah,
and I don't want to put words in your mouth,
Sure.
but is the increase in the number of individuals that could traverse the pathways around this project.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the second question is, this is a uniquely shaped property as it narrows towards the rear. If this were a regularly shaped rectangle, would you have the same concerns?
Would I have the same concerns for the traffic of people, you mean?
Just in general with the project.
If it was a straight-up property line if my windows were all.
No jog, there's no jog.
Yeah, there's no
in the
jog, yeah. So it jogs back, because like I said, it was
Yeah.
once altogether.
Yeah.
And if my windows were higher, so people could like literally look in my windows or kick my windows in, because I have one window that is maybe about 1.5 feet off the ground, then I would not have that concern. If it was a clean fence where I maintain the privacy.
Okay.
And, yeah, so,
Okay.
and then light as well, like with the height and everything, so.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lombardi.
Yep.
Mr. McKay, any questions for this gentleman?
No, I don't, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Thank you, sir. We'll
Thank
wait
you.
for the agent to provide responses. Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You've heard all the concerns from both parties that were here present. If you could provide some feedback to them, please.
For sure. In terms of, anything that was speaking to construction technique, these projects will undertake all the required, processes and steps and consultants and shoring engineers and structural engineers. When, we don't really engage in those until massing is sort of approved, because it's a little bit cavalier with scope of work. But no one, including our client, is going to want to risk their foundations or neighbors. So all of the required processes to ensure high-quality build will be, gone through. In terms of the snow and rain fall off onto the sort of skinny side of the site, let's call it onto the south side, we ensured that the design of the building, in terms of where drainage will go and any sloped roofs, all shed east and west. So neither north or south neighbor will be sort of directly impacted by that. And also via venting and things like this, because of the reduced side yard setback on the south, we wouldn't be doing any venting there either. In terms of the privacy screening on the rooftop, we thought it's a sort of decent gesture to increase that, to get it to be the 1,500. Also, if you are to look at the roof plan, because the rooftop terrace does not extend into the little thumb, I'll call it, into the back, it does reduce the ability for people on the rooftop of this to overlook into the south neighbor's backyard. It sort of creates a sort of setback, per se. In terms of security and access, I guess we didn't show it in our drawings, but perhaps a sort of access fence and something like this that could be fobbed or keyed entry for residents down the side that probably will happen. It's not a variance-oriented thing, but I don't think the people living here, and again, nor the client that's going to own the building, are super interested in inviting nefarious folks into the property. But I will point out that side yards that are being displayed on the north here are hyper common in this area. And again, I just think there are variances, and we are putting our sort of advocacy hat on for these multi-unit projects and pushing for what they can be. And so some of the variances are via that, and some are via the sort of peculiar nature of the site.
Thank you very much. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions. Yeah, Ms. Blazier has a question for you.
Thank you. We heard from both concerned neighbors that there hasn't been much outreach or any outreach to them directly from the property owner. Wondering if you can, from your perspective, describe what that process has looked like and any reasons as to why it hasn't happened?
I don't want to speak for the client. Studio AC, my practice has been pushing them the whole time to engage with them. It sounds like their style or sort of readiness to do so hasn't been up to snuff, so we'll certainly be pushing them on that. But we have done a number of these projects with them, and I will say that they've thankfully done some really nice builds, including just around the corner, which has a similar sort of height variance at 155 Dovercourt, that they've been, quite welcome now that they're finished into the areas.
Thank you. Mr. Reed?
Thanks, Chair. The neighbor to the south had concerns about the setback that you're proposing, and while I understand that that's in line with the existing building, you did set back the rear of your proposed building slightly, and I'm wondering why you didn't extend that towards the front.
It was really to try and get some 2-bedroom units out of this project. Okay, that's solely what the effort was. So the back 2 stacked units are 1-bedrooms, and the front 2 are 2-bedrooms.
All right. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Any other questions before we go into committee? None? Okay. Thank you so very much. We'll take it into committee and look for a decision for you. Thank you. Okay, colleagues. Just before we begin, I'll put in my 2 cents worth. Not to minimize the concerns of neighbors in any of the applications with regard to any applications that we see before us, but I'm always reminded about what's before us, and that's what we need to consider, and those are the variances before us. Matters relating to construction are not before us, and they're not part of our purview. As I think the agent has, and not just this agent, but agents previously as well, have always mentioned that when it comes to construction, those matters would be dealt with at the appropriate time by the appropriate bodies that are responsible for these things. What I do see before us are 5 variances, albeit slightly amended, and I do not see, personally, I do not see issues with them. I understand the change, in one of the speakers did note that we've come from farmland to highly dense urban neighborhoods. So that matter of change is part of this. This project is part of that. Personally, I find this project to be quite an interesting one, given the peculiarity of the lot. And we see a lot of that in Toronto, where the sites are very unusual, but that's part of the history. So from my perspective, I see this as a supportable application. I'd like to hear from colleagues on this one as well. Ms. Reed?
Thanks, Chair. I agree. I think there's a lot that's really good with this application, and I think partly because of the limitations of the site, it couldn't really extend further to the rear than it does. And I think that that's resulted in a built form that doesn't impact the neighbors in a huge way. I think the height is really towards the middle, and the height is really just that one central rooftop access piece. I think the supporting materials were really helpful, and to clearly exhibit what the variances being requested are. I do understand the concerns of the neighbors, particularly around the south side 0 meter setback, because as we see with the property to the north, that's resulted in concerns about impacts of zero lot line onto like windows, right, and that kind of thing, which wouldn't be permitted now. So I'm kind of concerned that by continuing that pattern, that could potentially result in some issues in the future, even though it is technically an existing condition. But I do think that the actual design of the house is very good. The units is very good and provides, you know, this missing middle type of typography in a neighborhood that is used to these kind of these buildings. So I'm still making up my mind on this.
Thank you, Mr. Reid. Ms. Plaisir, Mr. McKay, any thoughts?
Sure, I'll add a couple of thoughts.
Sorry, Mr. McKay, you come next. That's okay,
sorry,
Ms.
Gary.
Plaisir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think I generally echo what's already been said. The constrained nature of the lot has resulted in a pretty interesting response in terms of the various design features, which I think there's some big successes in how this has been presented. Proximity to Queen Street is makes a lot of sense for this type of sort of middle density to be brought in, and I do think that the inclusion of a couple of two-bedroom units is an important component of this design. I think at this point I'm leaning towards support, but I'm interested in other perspectives.
Mr. McKay, or thank you, Ms. Plaisir. Thank you, Mr. McKay.
Yeah, don't have a lot to add. Just thinking of the community planning report, you know, which recommends tying to plans like site plan and landscape plan. So I think I could be, with that particular condition, I think I could be supportive of the application.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Mr. Lombardi, your
We're all
thoughts?
speaking, that's great.
No, it's
Yes,
important.
thank you. Well, so first of all, I'd like to thank those who attended and deputed today. We certainly take your concerns seriously, and you know, in my perspective, this is an eclectic street, and it's an older neighborhood in the city of Toronto. What do I mean by eclectic? You can see that there are various varieties of scale, architecture, and massing on this street. There's also, it's a very tight urban fabric. By that we mean almost non-existent sometimes setbacks, side yard setbacks. And having said that, this is a proposal for a fourplex, and a fourplex, City Council has adopted policies to that have approved and encourage fourplexes in neighborhoods where previously only single detached or semi-detached type buildings were permitted. What also comes into play in this property, and it's been noted, is the sort of size or dimensions of the property. That does play into, you know, the overall development of the property, and the unique nature in that the property narrows as you go towards the rear and to the laneway. What also I'll point out is this is also a property that's within an MTSA, and the MTSA policies that, again, City Council has adopted encourage transit supportive development, and this is providing multiple units. And that is all to say that I think this is a supportable application, in my opinion. There is a condition there are a couple of conditions, but from planning staff, they're recommending tying it to the April 23rd, 2026 site plan. Transportation Services has no issue with this. So I'm prepared to support, if my colleagues want to put a motion forward, support this application and the variances as amended. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lombardi. Thank you, colleagues, for all your contributions. Would you like to turn that into a motion and see where it goes?
Sure, absolutely. So, yeah, I will move a motion
approving this application as amended, and granting the 5 variances being requested, subject to planning staff's condition tying the approval to the April 23rd, 2026 site plan. And also, Urban Forestry has put forward condition 1. Now, I will note that there are 2 reports from Urban Forestry. I find it a little confusing because the May 28th, a more recent report does not include a condition or conditions for this address, but the May 25th, 2026 previous report indicates condition number 1. So I'm going to, out of an abundance of caution, condition this with number 1. So that's my motion.
Through you, Mr. Chair, given the recent amendment to the application, do we want to tie to the June 1st? And those would be what staff have received as the June 1st revised plans in relation to the site plan, landscape, and lot grading plan.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Secretary Treasurer. If there's an updated revised plan, I agree. That's the one we should tie it to.
I'll second that, Chair. Thank you. Thank you very kindly, Mr. Reid. So we have a motion on the floor, moved by Mr. Lombardi, seconded by Mr. Reid. Amended motion with 2 conditions attached. All those in favor?
I agree.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McKay. You have a unanimous approval, sir. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 8. Item number 8 is 12 CREWE Avenue, and the purpose of the application is to alter pardon me, the existing 2-story detached dwelling by constructing a rear 1-story addition with an at-grade patio and pergola. Also to construct a partial rear 2nd-story addition which will be cantilevered on the east side of the dwelling. Committee had before the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 2 photographs of the subject property, covering letter from the agent, presentation materials from the agent, and we also have a 7-signature petition in support signed by owners of 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 21, and 23 CREWE Avenue.
Through the chair, we have the agent online, and there are no registered speakers for this item.
Thank you. Okay. Where are we? It's, the speaker is Mr. Decoteau. Good afternoon. Ronald, are you there?
Hi, Ronald. You have become a panelist, which has the access features for the audio options. You have been muted.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, good afternoon.
This is not Ronald. This is Felix. But I'm not sure if Ron is on the call at the moment. But I'm happy to speak on our behalf. So, good afternoon, everyone. Felix Lee. I'm the homeowner of 12 CREWE.
Your address for the record, please, sir.
Yep, I'm Felix Lee, the homeowner of 12 CREWE Avenue.
Thank you. We don't have anybody in contention for this application. So if my colleagues don't have any questions, we'll take it straight into committee. I don't see any questions. So if you'll bear with us, we'll take it into committee and look for a decision for you.
That sounds great.
Thank you. Colleagues, this one is following on the footsteps of the previous application. This one, we have 1 variance before us, which from my perspective looks extremely minor. Mr. Reid.
I agree, Chair. It's 1 variance and it's 5% lower than what's required. And I think that's pretty imperceptible in terms of once this is constructed. And I think the massing, which even though it doesn't necessarily impact the variance being requested, is done in a pretty sensitive way too. I believe the impact of this variance is minor, so I'll move approval without condition.
Thank you. Ms. Brazier seconds. All those in favor? Ms. Lee, you have unanimous approval. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone.
You too, take care. Okay, moving on to item number 9. Item number 9 is 380 Berkeley Street. Purpose of the application is to alter the existing 2 1/2-story semi-detached dwelling by constructing a side south 2-story addition, also to construct rear ground floor and second floor bay windows, a rear second-story balcony, and a rear third-story rooftop pergola and terrace extension above the second-story roof. Committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 3 photographs of the subject property, email correspondence between the agent and the zoning examiner. We also have email correspondence from Heritage Preservation, and we have correspondence in support from 445 Ontario Street.
Through the chair, we have the agent here in person, and we do not have any speakers.
Thank you. Colleagues, this is an application with 2 variances before us, and we welcome Mr. Gain. Good afternoon, sir. Name and address for the record, please.
Trevor Gain, agent here on behalf of the owners. I reside at 10 Celebrity Place in Markham.
Thank you very much. We won't need a presentation from the perspective of opposition, because there is none. Thank you. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you, sir. None, seeing none. Mr. McKay, any questions?
No, I don't. Thank
None?
you.
Thank
I
you
do
very
have one, Chair.
Please, Ms. Belizier, go ahead.
I'm just looking at the site plan in comparison to the photos submitted. The rear yard, does it isn't listed as a variance, but does it meet the soft landscaping requirements in the rear?
Yeah, we didn't calculate that because our additions are not touching the backyard. So when
Okay.
we talked, that was part of the correspondence with the zoning.
Okay.
And she basically said, since we're not touching the backyard at all, it's all existing from whenever it was.
Okay, that clarifies. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take it into committee and look for discussion decision. Who would like to run with this one? Oh, Mr. Lombardi, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a rather straightforward application. I think it's a modest redevelopment of the site, and there are only 2 variances, and I believe both satisfy the statutory tests and the Planning Act. So I'm prepared to move a motion granting the variance, the 2 variances, and approving the application. I don't see any conditions of approval.
Thank you very much. Do we have a second, Ms. Brazier? Thank you very much. All those in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. So you have a unanimous approval. Thank you very much. All right, moving on to item number 10. It's 89 Marlborough Avenue. Purpose of the application to alter the existing 2-story semi-detached dwelling by constructing a complete 3rd-story addition, cantilevered on the southeast side of the dwelling with a rear covered balcony. Committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, elevations, 2 photographs of the subject property, covering letter from the agent, and we also have correspondence in support from 91 Marlborough Avenue.
Through the chair, we have the agent online, and there are no registered speakers.
Thank you. Okay. Ite Joshua, are you there?
Yes, speaking. Hello, members of the committee.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Itai Joshua of Joshua Design Company, and I reside at 7950 Bathurst Street in Thornhill.
Thank you very much. Mr. Joshua, there you have 2 variances being requested.
Yes.
Let me just see if my colleagues have any need for presentation or if anybody has any questions. If not, we'll take it into committee and look for a decision for you.
Sure.
No questions? Mr. McKay, any thoughts, any questions?
I just wondered if he's putting in any kind of a privacy screening for that balcony on the 3rd floor. Would he be okay with that?
Yeah, that's no problem. The balcony actually, the two side walls are actually being extended as part of the balcony.
I was gonna ask, yeah.
So there are essentially, the two side walls will be essentially privacy screens, solid screens. So it will just be the rear that will have any sort of view out.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
Mr. McKay, did you want to add privacy screening, or are you satisfied with the explanation?
I'm satisfied with the explanation. They're building into it, so that's fine.
Perfect. Thank you kindly. All right. We'll look for a motion. Ms. Plaisir, thank you.
I'll move a motion to approve the 2 variances requested. I think it's a really interesting 3rd-story addition. They've got support from the neighbors as well, the attached neighbors, so I think it's highly supportable.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Mr. Lombardi seconds.
Okay.
All those in favor? Thank
Yes.
you. Mr. Joshua, you have an unanimous approval. Thank you.
Thank you so much, members of the committee. Have a
Take
great
care.
day. Take care.
All right, and we move on to 16, item number 11, which is 16 Lamb Avenue. Purpose of the application is to alter the existing 2 1/2 story semi-detached dwelling by constructing a rear 1st floor addition and a rear 3rd story addition with a rear roof deck. Also to construct a new 1-story ancillary building, detached garage with storage, workshop/workshop space in the rear yard abutting the public laneway. The existing ancillary building shed in the rear yard will be demolished. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 4 photographs of the subject property, covering letter from the agent, and correspondence in support from 20 Lamb Avenue.
Through the chair, we have the agent online, and there's also one interested speaker online as well.
Thank you. Deborah Mesher, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, good
My address
afternoon.
is 198. Oh, hello. I was just going to give you
Hi.
my address.
Name and address, please.
Yeah, Deborah Mesher. I'm the designer and agent for the application, and my address is 198 Melita Avenue, Toronto.
Thank you very much. It looks like we have somebody in interest. We'll just check and see if this person would require, if they're going to be speaking, and whether we need a presentation from you or not. So if you can just hold on.
Sure thing.
The speaker at address 82 Fellstead Avenue, you've been unmuted.
Yes, hi. My name is Barbara Pettick. Can you hear me?
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes,
Sorry,
hi. Good afternoon.
I had
it's-
somebody else listed here, but from the
Yeah,
same
that's
group.
it's my husband, Stephen.
Okay.
I'm speaking on behalf of both of us, 82 Fellstead Avenue.
Thank you. Did you have any concerns about the project that you want the agent to respond to, or
Yeah.
are you just interested?
No, yes, I did. We did have one concern.
Please go ahead.
Yes. We don't have any objections at all to the variances concerning the construction on the house itself. We do have a concern about the proposed garage, specifically its size and the impact it may have on the natural light reaching the rear of our home. So our house is perpendicular to 16 Lamb, so our back windows look into the backyard of 16 Lamb. And again, we're concerned about whether the proposed size and height of the garage, in particular, the roof slanting upward toward our house. So at its highest point, it'll be 13 feet high, and that will be the side that will be closest to our home. And we just have some concern about the light, the amount of daylight and sunlight that is reaching our home and whether that garage would affect that. And we did express this verbally to the applicant when they came around doing a neighborhood canvass recently. So we have had some initial discussions about that. So that would be it.
Great, thank you very much. We'll have the agent give you some feedback.
Yeah, thank you for that comment, Barbara. I just wanted to clarify. So the garage roof is actually sloping up towards the north. So where you're looking, the highest point is actually on the very north end of the property. So the lower slope is actually, the lowest is on your side. So you're south of the property, perpendicular to it, like you said. So yeah, so on the left-hand side of that elevation there, that is the edge that's closest to your property. So you're on the south side of this building. So with respect to light, the sun is coming, it's in the bottom direction. Like this building doesn't affect your property at all. If anything, it might affect the shading of the yard to the north of it, but it doesn't affect the shade of your yard at all. And is that helpful?
It is, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mesha. Let me just see if my colleagues have, Mr. Lombardi's got a question.
Very quickly, Mr. Chair, I'm assuming, and this is probably a rhetorical question, I think I know the answer, but the sloping of the roof on the proposed garage, is that because of the storage component?
Well, yes, but actually, we don't have a height variance. We're allowed to go up to 13 feet, so there's no height variance attached to that.
Yep.
And it's really just about being able to get, to plan for future solar panels,
Okay.
in the future. So
Okay.
that's why it's sloped that way.
Okay, so I didn't know the answer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? None? Ms. Mesha, I do have a question for you. Variance number 3 is asking for maintenance of 32.9% of the rear yard as for soft landscaping. I take it that's an existing condition.
Yes, it is. If you actually pull up the cover letter, if you go to page 4, there's a little diagram showing the kind of the existing asphalt pad and shed that are there, and then the outline of the new building. So we actually do have kind of more landscaping on the laneway side, so that's where that, so the decrease is the opposite. We actually have a couple percentage more than is actually provided right now.
Thank you. And the second part of that question is, you've got a deck, is it a proposed deck, I take it, at the rear?
Oh, on the third floor? On the third floor, actually,
it's
an existing
not
deck.
at ground level, I take, or is it the third floor?
It's on the third floor, and it's an existing deck. The existing deck covers most of the, half of the area of the footprint of the building. So we're really just, we're using an addition to use up some of that deck, and we're just maintaining the deck that's there, for fire code reasons and for amenity reasons.
And on your first floor plan, the proposed plan, A2, there's a rear deck at the back?
Yeah, that's all existing. That's unchanged.
That's existing. Is there permeable material under that deck?
Under that deck, yes. Yeah, I mean, gravel, grass, weeds, yes, there is.
And raccoons, I hope not. But anyway, yes, thank you very much. Well, that tends to mitigate the soft landscaping issue to a degree as well. So thank you. Okay, any other questions? None? Okay, we'll take it into committee for a decision, Ms. Mesha. Thank you. Mr. Reid?
Thanks, Chair. I think this is a good project, and I commend the applicant for the materials put together. Again, that's very clear in terms of expressing what you're proposing and the impacts of those. I did have some concerns, as you mentioned, for the rear yard soft landscaping, but it is a material improvement over what's there. I take that, and to your point of the soft surface underneath the rear deck. But I think these are relatively small additions, and the size of the garage, I think, does fit in with the pattern. And it doesn't feel egregiously large, and there is, having that workspace in it, I think makes sense and brings some amenity to the property. I think these are minor variances, and I move approval of the application.
Thank you, Mr. Reid. Do we have a seconder? Ms. Brazier? Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Ms. Mesha, you have a unanimous approval. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to a more challenging application. Number 50, this is item 12, 50 Dearborn Avenue. Purpose of the application is to construct a new one-story detached ancillary structure, partially enclosed carport in the rear yard abutting the laneway. Committee had before it copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, elevations, 4 photographs of trees on the subject property, tree protection plan, and we have a staff report from urban forestry.
Through the chair, the
Okay.
agent is online, and there are no registered speakers.
Thank you. Let's see, Mr. Saunders, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, good afternoon. You're presenting us with an extremely complex application, so I'll just see if my colleagues have any need for a presentation or if anybody has any questions. If not, we'll take it straight into committee. None? Okay. We'll take it into committee, sir, look for a decision. Okay, Mr. Lombardi, it's yours.
Oh, because I should have kept my mouth shut. No, this is a fairly straightforward, very modest application, one variance required. It's a slight increase in lot coverage, and I have no issue with this application in supporting it. Meets the 4 statutory tests, so I'm prepared to move a motion granting the application and, approving the application, granting the one variance. There are no conditions that I can see.
Thank you very much.
Is there a condition from urban forestry? No.
This is a memo,
The memo was,
but
sorry.
not a
No,
condition.
It wasn't very clear, right?
Do we have a seconder?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. All those in favor? You have your approval, sir. Thank you.
Very much.
Okay, moving on to item number 13. Item number 13 is 162 WINNETT Avenue. Purpose of the application is to construct a new 3-story detached dwelling with an integral garage, a front porch with stairs, a rear ground floor deck with stairs, a rear basement walkout with a terrace, and a rear 3rd-story balcony above the 2nd floor. There will be a total of 2 residential dwelling units on this lot. 1 unit occupying a portion of the basement and all 3 stories, and an additional unit occupying the remaining portion of the basement. Committee had before it the following communications: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 3 photographs of the subject property, decision number affecting the subject property, staff report from urban forestry.
Through the chair, we have the agent online, and there are no registered speakers for this item.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Perez. Name and address, please.
Good afternoon, Chairman and committee members. My name is Eddie Perez. We're at 537 Rogers Road. As you said, we're proposing a 3-story dwelling. It's very common in the area with these variances that got approved in other properties. The other ones got approved at 1.3 times, 1.43 times, and 1.3. So it's common, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. Let me just see if my colleagues need a presentation or have any questions for you. Okay, so far I don't see any. Mr. McKay?
No, I don't.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Okay, Mr. Perez, we'll take it into committee and look for a decision for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, colleagues, we have 4 variance requests before us, and from what I noted, they are all reasonable, relatively minor requests, and I don't see any conditions attached. Forestry number 1, I believe that's the only one.
I agree, Chair. I'm prepared to move forward and move approval of these 4 variances subject to urban forestry condition number 1.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Do we have a second to Ms. McKay? Ms. Plaisir, thank you. Okay, all those in favor of this application, Mr. Perez, you have a unanimous approval. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too.
Nice day.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right. We move on to item number 14, 560 Atlas Avenue. And the purpose of the application is to construct a new rear two-story detached ancillary building containing one garden suite with a basement level. There will be 2 bicycle parking spaces abutting Winona Drive. Also, there will be a total of 7 residential dwelling units on this lot, 6 units within the main building and 1 unit within the ancillary building. Committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, elevations, 6 photographs of trees on the subject property, presentation materials from the agent. Okay.
Through the chair, we have the agent online, and there is one interested speaker that's also online.
Thank you. Mr. Rani, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Rani, I beg your pardon.
No problem. My name is Shadi Arani from 3335 Young Street.
Thank you very much. It looks like we will require a presentation because we do have somebody in opposition.
Sure.
When you're ready.
Sure. So as you mentioned, we are requesting 3 minor variances to accommodate the construction of a new 2-story garden suite at the rear of this lot. As you can see on this lot, actually, before I begin, I would like to make a minor adjustment to the side yard variance. Initially, we were requesting a variance for a side yard setback of 0.15 meters.
Sorry to interrupt you. Which variance is that?
That would be variance number 2.
Variance number 2. So you're moving
so the side yards, yes.
North side, north
That is
lot line? What are you changing it to from?
So we were requesting a setback of 0.15 meters, and we would like to increase the setback to 0.3 meters.
0.3.
It's okay.
Okay, so sorry, I was looking at it and it was, this is the north one, right? North.
That is
lot
correct.
line? So it was 0.15 and you're moving it to 0.3.
Correct.
Okay, great. Thank you. Please continue. I apologize for the interruption.
No problem. Thank you. So this change was based on the concern that the north neighbor had expressed, and after discussions that we had with them, they also sent a letter of objections. We had many discussions, conversations with them, and we increased this in order to satisfy their concern. So on this slide, the photo shows the existing double-car garage at the rear of the property, immediately facing Winona Drive, where we are proposing the garden suite. So you can see on the right side, there's a single-family dwelling, and on the immediate left side, there's another detached garage, and then a 10-story mid-rise building. If you kindly go to the next slide. So on this slide, again, you can see with a green outline, the subject property, basically the garage, compared to the building across the street, which is also a 2.5-story, and it's built on or very close to the lot line on Winona. So if you please go to the next slide. So on this slide, you see the proposed garden suite in green. This was before the side yard improvement, so now the side yard on the north will be improved. And the existing garage is also shown on orange dashed line. So the garden suite will actually have a smaller footprint compared to the existing garage, which will be demolished. If you kindly go to the last slide. I'll go over the variances. So the first variance requested is the rear yard setback, where the bylaw requires 5.03 meters, and we are proposing 2.6 meters. This is in fact the setback from the base of the garden suite to Winona Drive. The existing setback of the garage is 1.7 meters, so the proposed setback is actually an improvement compared to the existing setback. Again, you can compare the green and orange line. So the building will be sitting setback further in compared to the detached garage on one side. The second variant This is the side yard setback. As mentioned earlier, we would like to increase that to 0.3 meters. The existing garage setback at the moment is 0.1 meters. So this is again an improvement to the current condition. The last variance is the required distance between the main building and the two-story garden suite, which is supposed to be 7.5 meters, and we are proposing 6 meters. And again, as you can see, the proposed distance would also be an improvement to the existing garage. I also want to mention that the wall does not encroach beyond the rear wall of the north neighbor garage, so it would be aligned with the basically neighboring ancillary structure to cause any overshadowing. As you see on the drawings that you have on file, there are no windows facing either side or the back, basically, to cause any privacy or any overlooking. The only windows that we have are facing Winona Drive to respect the privacy of all the neighbors. I also want to mention that we made every effort we could to reach out to the neighbors. I dropped off letters at all the doors of the properties asking to reach out if they had any concerns. The only concern we received was from the north neighbor, which we had a discussion with. And I know it was very late at the end, but last night they actually withdrew their objection.
Oh, very good.
Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you at this point. Mr. Reed has a question.
Thanks, Chair. Just a question about the main building on the site, the proposed three-story building. So was that under a different application, or is that just being built as of right?
It's being built as of right.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other questions at this point? Mr. McKay has a question.
Just with respect to the garden suite, when they go to 2 stories, yeah, I have a concern about privacy and overlook, but I think you have covered it off here with respect to what you're doing and the non-windows and explaining some of the adjacent properties. So I can live with that relative to that garden suite.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. McKay. Okay, we'll move on to the person or persons that are in opposition.
The speaker at 1473 Eglinton Avenue West, you have been unmuted.
Good afternoon, Rene Suarez, are you there?
Hi, good afternoon. Sorry
Hi,
about
good
that.
afternoon. Could you give us your name and address, please?
Yeah, my name is Rene Suarez at 1473 Eglinton West.
Okay, were you just listening in an interest, or did you have some concerns that you needed addressed?
Oh, I have no concerns at all. I'm just an interested neighbor. I'm also thinking of potentially going through a similar process myself, so I'd just like to see how things are done.
Good research
Everything
material.
sounds great? Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Take
Thank you.
care. All right. Anybody else, or that was it? That's it? Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, let's go back to Ms. Arani. Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we don't have anybody really in opposition. And we'll take it into committee now and look for a decision for you. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
We're dueling here.
Our technology
Who gets it
challenges.
first? With pleasure.
Yeah, this was a really interesting application, very unique situation in terms of having 2 Main Street frontages on the lot. I think it's a really appropriate site for a suite like this, really close to Eglinton Ave, and they're only needing 3 variances. So I'm happy to move approval on this application as amended, and I don't see any conditions beyond that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Plaisir. Second, Mr. Lombardi?
Please.
Sure.
Not to extend things, but yeah, no, it's an interesting context in terms of the site, and also the location within a protected major transit station area. And I think that it is a well-designed and appropriate project for this site. I'll note that The garden suite is proposing 4 bedrooms and a size of 1,261 square feet, which is really, really the type of, I think, housing that the city is currently looking for. And it's a good sign. And so I'm prepared to second the motion.
Thank you very much. Okay. All those in favor of the application? And you have a unanimous approval, Ms. Arani. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Take care. Okay, moving on to item number 15. Item number 15 is 311 Sherbourne Street. Purpose of the application is to alter the existing 3-story mixed-use building by converting the storage room on the 2nd and 3rd levels into 7 additional hostel suites, 3 on the 2nd level and 4 on the 3rd level. The existing pharmacy and cafeteria on the ground level, 19 hostel suites on the 2nd level, and 20 hostel suites on the 3rd level will be maintained and unaltered. The committee will have had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans, and elevations, 7 photographs of the subject property, covering letter from the agent, decision number affecting the subject property. We also have a section 118 restrictive covenant agreement. We also have a staff report from community planning.
Through the chair, we have the agent online, and there are no registered speakers.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Saad. Are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you,
Very
Mr.
well,
Chair?
thank you. Thank you for being there. Let me just see, we don't have anybody in opposition, so we don't need any presentation from that perspective, but let me just see if my colleagues have any questions for you.
Of course.
Mr. Reid has a question.
Thank you, Chair. And I think I know the answer based on your materials, but just want to make sure that you're fine with the language of the community planning condition that they've put forward.
Yes, 100%. As a matter of fact, we recently heard from community planning, and they are saying that the section 118 that we had pre-prepared and submitted in draft form is not going to be required any longer. And as you can see from the condition that they've left on there, it's simply the LDA,
Right.
which we had also prepared, but I did not bother submitting. I had thought the limiting distance agreement was going to be, obviously it pertains more to building code than it does to the zoning bylaws. But I think from what I understood from community planning was it didn't make sense to go through all the motions and involve and waste the city's time in terms of getting a lawyer involved for the section 118, because the limiting distance agreement actually achieves the same thing, whereby there's going to be this no build zone for the 2.5 meters on the adjacent property.
Right, understood. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Reid. Mr. McKay has a question.
So the limiting distance agreement, won't that be registered on title? Like when it refers to section 118, I presume that's the Land Titles Act, but wouldn't this limiting distance agreement also need to be put on title so there's full notice of someone?
Yes, sir, it would. Yes, and I think that's where community planning was satisfied that if that goes on title, then there's no longer any concern over anyone building any closer should that adjacent property at 313 Sherbourne change hands in the future. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so they're not really worried about a restrictive covenant.
No longer, no. In fact, they said restrictive covenant, if we put one in place, could be lifted the very next day by the same two property owners.
I was
without
wondering
the
about
city's-
release as well, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. That's good.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McKay. Any other questions at this point? None? Thank you, Mr. Saad. We'll take it into committee and look for a decision for you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Reid. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, thanks. I think this is an interesting application, and the fact that it's only possible because you have the same owner on these adjacent lots. And I think what this is doing by adding a few more rooms is positive. And and I think it's supportable. This is a minor variance now with the limited distance agreement being put in place. So I'll move approval subject to the community planning condition.
Thank you, Mr. Reid. Mr. Lombardi seconds the motion. All those in favor? Thank you. Mr. Saad, you have a unanimous approval. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all. Thank you.
Thank you,
Take good
sir.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Okay, moving on to item number 16. Item number 16 is 90 Northline Road, and the purpose of the application is to alter the existing one-story non-residential building, industrial and commercial uses, by constructing a rear one-story addition for industrial use with access stairs. The committee had before it the following communication: copy of plan of survey, site plan, floor plans and elevations, 12 photographs of the subject property, a covering letter from the agent, and we have correspondence in concern or interest from 83 Sunrise Avenue.
Through the chair, the agent is online, and we do not have any speakers for this item.
Thank you so very much. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. My name is Robert Dragicevic. Address 1450 O'Connor Drive, Building 2, Unit 220, Toronto, M4B 2T8, and I'm the planning consultant to the Ontario Numbered Company, who are the owners of 90 Northline.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much for being here. You have two variances before us, and nobody in opposition. So let me see if my colleagues have any questions for you. If not, we'll take it into committee and look for a decision. Any questions at this point? None? Okay, we'll take it into committee, sir, and look for a decision for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, this is a fairly straightforward application. I think I recall, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I am, that this one had come before some time ago, if I'm not mistaken, or something similar. In any event, who would like to run with this one?
I can. Yeah, I don't mind, Chair, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Reid.
I want to note that I did review the comments and concerns of the church property that's adjacent, but I think most of those were really not related to the variances. There were some questions of the proximity, but I think that the impacts of those are going to be very minor. This is in an industrial area, an employment area, and so I think what's being proposed in terms of you're having these setbacks that are changed aren't going to be a material difference to the site. There's outdoor storage there as it is, and by formalizing that into a building envelope, I think it's a good use of the space, and I think supportable with minimal impact. So I'll move approval of the application without condition.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reid. Do we have a second? Mr. Lombardi, thank you.
With just a caveat, note that there's only a zoning waiver on this application.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, I'm prepared to second.
Thank you, Mr. Lombardi. All those in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. You have your approval unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair, then we will break at this time at 12:46 p.m. And we'll resume at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Through you, Mr. Chair, I'm just going to ask you to read through the land acknowledgement one more time, only because there were some issues today with WebEx and YouTube, and so it may not have made the YouTube feed. So if we could just end this morning's session with that.
Thank you. We acknowledge the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We can now take our break.
Thank you.